I wanted to take a moment and give my thoughts on the recent NAR proposed settlement and how I think it affects New York City real estate. This is simply my opinion. It is not legal advice. I am in no way affiliated with the case. This is all based on what information is currently available. I'm certain more information will come out and more guidance will come from the proper channels. Okay, let's get to the good stuff. We all saw the headlines. Real estate commission will be slashed. The end of the 6%. Sellers will no longer be offering buyers commission. Buyers will need to pay their own brokers. The sky is falling. I had many of the same thoughts, and I started to formulate my own opinion. Then I decided, instead of reading all these articles and assume that the authors knew what they were talking about, I should read the actual settlement and decide on my own. That's exactly what I did. Once I read it, my opinion shifted. Let's go back a little and talk about how we got to this point. Many consumers have no idea what a real estate agent does. They watch reality TV. They think a broker's job consists of sitting in a fancy coffee shop all day with people calling constantly, begging them to allow them the privilege of selling their property or helping them buy a new one. For this privilege, they are paid ungodly sums of money. Anyone in the industry knows none of that is true. Even the brokers who have achieved TV fame will tell you they work incredibly hard on behalf of their clients and they bring tremendous value. For every deal that does close, there can be 10 that don't, and they never see a penny from it. The real estate industry has a PR and consumer education problem. One thing I hope comes from this is that brokers become better at educating their clients on their value. People are taking joy in the pain this settlement is set to cause the real estate industry. These clickbait headlines are just that, clickbait. They're getting clicks and they're getting views. The problem is it's simply not reality. The settlement itself is over 100 pages long. Let's be clear here. The settlement has no direct effect on how we conduct business currently in New York City. It involves NAR, which most New York City brokers are not a member of. They are not realtors, and the MLS system, which is not utilized in New York City. Yes, there are currently similar lawsuits involving New York City, but none of those have settled. Let's assume that some of the details in this proposed settlement will make their way eventually into our day-to-day lives. The relevant portions that an agent or broker should focus on is Section H, practice changes. Many articles claim that the sellers will no longer be able to offer buyer's agent compensations. In effect, the seller will not be paying a buyer's broker, and that fee will be on the buyers themselves. This is simply false. The settlement states that they will no longer be required to make offers of compensation. It only prohibits those offers from being part of the MLS system. The fear is, if on this public forum, some sellers are offering buyers commissions and some are not offering buyers commissions, buyers agents will steal their clients towards the bigger commissions. All the settlement is doing is removing the commission from the MLS system. It is not eliminating or even reducing commissions. Commissions will simply need to be discussed and negotiated outside of the MLS system. A buyer will need to have a separate commission agreement with the buyer's agent. This is something which I believe should happen anyway for the protection of the buyer's agent. Not only does the settlement not prohibit offers of buyer's agent compensation, it specifically says that it is not prohibited. It states in the practice changes in paragraph 58, that's the section H I described before, of this settlement agreement shall not A, prevent offers of compensation to buyers' brokers or other buyers' representatives off of the multiple living service, listing service, or B, sellers from offering buyer concessions on a realtor MLS, so long as such concessions are not limited to or conditioned on the retention of or payment to a cooperating broker, buyer broker, or other buyer representative. The fact that someone could read those sentences and still make a salacious headline that buyers will no longer be paying buyers' agents is beyond me. In my opinion, that's just irresponsible. There are many other nuances to this settlement, and much needs to happen before it actually all plays out. I could spend all day on this, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to stop it right there. I'm happy to have a further discussion with you. I can be reached at aturk@fentongoldman.com. I am on social media on Instagram at AdamSethTurkESQ and on LinkedIn as well. If you want to go old school and call me, that works as well. My number is 212-265-4900. Nobody knows what the future holds and how this will all play out, but I do know the sky is not falling. Good brokers and agents are going to come through this just fine and possibly even stronger. Hoping for many sunny blue sky days ahead here in New York City, and I hope to see you all on a deal soon.